You talked about how competitive you are during the race, and basically your husband learned about that during the experience. Did you try to match her energy, or were you like, go ahead and take the reins and more like a cheerleader on the side?
Oh, that's a good question.
So I'm always my wife's cheerleader. Let's just start there. No matter what she's do, I'm gonna encourage her to be great. And she has so many great strengths. This was the first time I got to see them, some of them in this way in action. And so it only made us a better team. So what we decided was that we play to our own strengths. She knows I'm stronger in some areas. I know she's stronger in some areas. And we did our best to make that our plan going through the race.
Got it. Lumumba, you said that you were doing this for your unborn child. Was that mostly about the prize money or something else?
It was about establishing for him, boom, boom, his legacy, letting him know the internal character that it takes to live in this life and how to treat people, how to win, as well as how to lose. So there are a lot of different lessons for him to learn, and it'll forever be memorialized on television that this is how his mother and father handled these situations. Now, of course, there's only the side you see on camera. There's a backside to it, but just as a whole, we just want to leave that legacy. Now, my wife, on the other hand,
what?
Talk about that money.
Oh, of course. I mean, listen, kids are expensive, child. Listen, we need a new SUV. We need all the safety features you can get in a house and a car and all that stuff. So definitely, but we definitely wanted this to be a teaching tool for our children, so it was really important to us, to be authentic, to be positive, to show our faith in God, and the fact that he's not here. I am not pregnant as of today. And the fact that we put it out there as if he is, just to show that was another example of our faith and teaching him about God and teaching him about putting your faith out and trusting, that what you desire will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really beautiful. Going into the challenges, you guys chose to do multiple dance challenges despite your big height difference.
Yeah.
That route. Why did you choose that route? And also, which one was your favorite dance?
Definitely not the favorite was not Jordan, that's for sure.
We would have skipped that one all together.
We should have quit while we were ahead.
Yeah, we would have skipped that one had it not been for our devastating experience with the anatomy challenge during the mega leg. Going to head of the class was so difficult that in my mind, I was almost traumatized. And I said, I don't want to go to any more lessons, even though my profession is teaching. So we had done well in Innsbruck in the dance challenge. And so we figured, hey, we'll be able to get this in maybe 3 tries, and this was a totally different animal.
Yeah, it was. Well, going into the Amazing Race, I told Lumumba that I wanted to do anything singing because I love karaoke. So that strength played out well in the yodeling because I'm a huge karaoke queen. So that and dancing, I told him I want to sing and I wanted to dance. So we were going to at least do one of each because I told him that is fun for me. And this is such a stressful process that I at least want to do something fun. So I'm glad we at least got a chance to do it.
Yeah. I think you guys are probably naturally good dancers. So you were trying to put a little bit too pizzazz. She was like, don't jump, stay on the ground.
Well, again, anybody that is doing a challenge that requires a judge, you literally are at the mercy of the instructor and what the instructor teaches you. So our instructor did not tell us that we were hopping.
Our instructor told us 6 times in a row, we're doing great, and didn't give us what we were doing wrong. So every time we left without the clue, she would say, oh, well, you're doing well. And she would do the same thing over and over again. So it took 6 times before the judge said, listen, this is what the problem is.
Got it. You got second place twice in a row. What did it feel like having that strong start?
It felt great because, I mean, coming into this season, no non-eliminations, and then the first scramble, it is nerve-wracking in and of itself, and then you add those dynamics to it. So we really didn't know how we were going to start. You know, we came in as prepared as you can for the Amazing Race, but like not expecting those dynamics. Oh my goodness, we were definitely nervous. So coming out second was huge because, first of all, no one wants to go home. No one especially wants to go home first.
Yeah.
So, you know, we knew it was going to be a team. We just didn't want it to be us.
Yeah, that was a huge confidence boost.
Yeah.
I mean, we were already anxious.
Yeah.
And to have come in second twice, we were like, okay, not only are we here, but we're competitive.
Yeah.
You know, we're competitive.
Yeah.
Nice. You really struggled with the directions and finding roadblocks in Italy. What changed there?
So in Italy, the way that the roads are set up is different from the way that they're set up in the United States. So even where you look to find the roads, you know, it's etched into the sides of the buildings. Some roads look like sidewalks because everyone walks everywhere and they're very narrow. And in Bologna, when we were there, a lot of people were tourists, and the locations that we were looking for were so specific that, you know, it was just difficult to find the right directions. And as the navigator, you know, I had us circling around, you know, for an additional hour, and at least an additional hour before we even got to head of the class. So it was just a really terrible, you know, just terrible experience with that.
Yeah, with the Amazing Race, you kind of have to use both science and intuition.
Yeah.
So you got to use your senses. The map, there's no way. Lumumba is excellent at reading maps. I could not have gotten us anywhere with the map, right? I would have been asking every single person with a cell phone to give me turn-by-turn directions, which that does not work in a foreign country because you don't know the language. So you cannot. So don't think that turn by turn is going to help you, because you really do need to be able to read a map in a foreign country. But you kind of got to look at your senses, like look at the signs. You saw that in this past episode where everybody got turned around going to Dom, because you kind of have to look at the signs as well as the map. So you need a combination of the two. So we learned that, you know, and that's kind of where we kind of misstepped in Italy.
Okay. You're talking about the navigation skills. Is that why you were always in the back with the map while you were driving?
Yeah, yes. That was specifically about the navigation. Now, if you want to talk about reading the clue, that was Lumumba again in that same episode, that same leg. Lumumba again read the clue, took off running, and instead of allowing my wife to read it, when she said, let me see the clue, let me read it. I said, no, we're going this way and we're taking off on foot. And 30 minutes later, lo and behold, she's like, where are we going? I was like, let me read the clue again. And it says, you know, you need to travel in the car.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was the beginning of the end.
Well, not really, because we got to go to, you know, more countries.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
We did, you know.
No, we did great. We did great. But that was the low point.
Yeah.
You came in last in Jordan, meaning you had to leave 45 minutes later for the next leg. Did you try to strategize on how to make up that time?
Yeah, we didn't expect to go home. Yeah. Definitely. We were, from the beginning, we are fighting for first, because in the Amazing Race, you never know. Like, people literally have lost their passports and been out, have gotten lost, been in another country, like we saw in this season, you know, got into arguments that slow you down. So we, like, anything could happen. So we were pushing, trying to stay as focused as we could.
And every leg, we'd gain on people, you know, so,
right.
So we knew that there's so many different variables. If we just stay focused and keep moving, then, you know, just consistency, not making big mistakes, and doing our best at what we had in front of us, that we would be fine. So we focused a lot on getting good directions. And, you know, outside of the car turning, I mean, literally, we didn't really have any directional issues. That was maybe like, that was just a little turn that we shouldn't have made. And we were backtracking on that, but that ended up being the difference between a 45-minute, difference and over an hour. And after that hour, we stayed focused again, but it was too much for us to overcome.
Too many mistakes.
Yeah, we shot ourselves in the foot too many times,
Yeah.
So since you brought it up, talking about the car accident, first of all, what were those people doing in the road? Like, I was kind of
let me do this. This was not a road. This was a mile. This is the reason why I say the roads in France and Italy are totally different. This was not a road. This was a 1.5 mile long driveway. And we had been driving for a mile, and then we start to see the road narrow, and we start to see mailboxes. And at that point, I'm like, babe, this is the wrong way. We have to back up and get out of here. There were people standing in their driveway, which happened to be farmland, and so they were looking at us strange, like, who the heck are you?
Speaking French, and we don't speak French, so we're like, oh my god, we got to get up out of here. So I'm trying to like back up out of there, and of course I don't see this drop off, and I don't see like the grass covering it, and go right into a ditch. We're just so happy that no one got hurt. We didn't damage the car, and shout out to the grandma with the tractor that came and pulled us out of the
tractor
ditch.
Granny. Thank you, Tractor Granny. Because at this point, not only were we concerned about our safety first and foremost, but we didn't think that we would be able to continue racing.
Right.
And then when she showed up and everything was cleared, we said, wow, we're actually going to be able to finish.
Yeah.
And that made me feel so great, because I wanted us to be able to finish what we started.
Definitely.
And we were going to continue to run strong. So
yeah.
Got it. So you guys were in the wrong multiple ways. The two men who were also with you guys, were they in the car when it happened?
No. No. Those were people, they have safety, people for safety. Yep. The company has, medics and things placed in different locations. So, calls were made, they showed up. Sometimes, they'll be in the vicinity, and, and so that's who they were, they were there for safety purposes.
Nice. So the neighbor got you out, you said, in 5 minutes, so pretty quick. But how long do you think that whole ordeal took?
Oh yeah, that was longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah. It was 25 to 35 minutes
total. It was, which is relatively quick, because we honestly thought we were going to be there for hours. We're out in the middle of like what we think is pretty much nowhere. Yeah. So to be able to get out and get back on track to race, that was huge.
It was huge.
Yeah, it's pretty lucky. What were your nerves like getting back on the road? Because you guys actually looked really calm. Like, you guys were more frantic in Italy than after a car accident.
Right.
Well, the reason why...
That's a good observation.
The reason, right?
No one's ever said that.
The reason why, and you'll get this, only you, is because we were on such a high after coming in second twice, that we kind of were like, oh, okay, yeah, we got this. And then to go from second place to dead last in during the mega leg, that like really got us shaking, because we had never been in the last position before. This is the third and fourth leg. So now we're like, oh my God, how do we like fight to get out of this bad situation? So a lot of those nerves came because we didn't know, how far people were ahead of us, how much time we needed to make up during the mega leg. When we were in,
so we're used to being behind, I guess is what we're saying. By that point,
by this point, we knew if we ran our race, we would be good. So,
got it. No, that definitely makes a difference. If all you know is Ori struggling behind, you're probably going to get used to it at some point.
All we know is struggle.
All we know.
Glenda, at the end, you said you were going back home as a better partner. How so? And did it stick?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. You tell me.
I have to attest as to whether or not it sticks.
Goodness, I don't know. I definitely feel like I'm a better partner because I came in open to learn my spouse, open to learn Lumumba. He definitely has strengths that I don't have, like the map reading, like, you know, how he approaches challenges, right? Very methodical. I'm very go, go, go. Let's go. We're on a race. And so, but I can appreciate those differences now. Before, I'm like, you know, when someone does something differently from you, you kind of look at it sometimes as like a liability or a deficiency. But, you know, I learned like, wait, different doesn't mean bad. It means different. And it's to our advantage because there's no way we could have gotten to the challenges. And he was so dope and so quick at all of the roadblocks that he did. And like, I don't have the skills that he has. So it made me appreciate my husband more. It helped me trust him more. I'm 42. I was 41 when I when I walked down the aisle for the first time. So used to making decisions and doing everything on my own. So it helped me trust my husband more. And I think for me, it helped me take the pressure off myself to be like 100%, to be perfect, to be like, you know, doing everything like well. Like it's okay to just enjoy the experience. And even if you give your all and it doesn't work out the way you planned, you know, it's still a win, you know? So I learned that was a huge lesson for me.
And it did stick.
I
benefit from all of that. We both came back different people.
Yeah.
We you know, marriage, two people become one, but it's actually a process, you know. And the process like brought us closer together. I would say, you know, probably gave us, you know, about a year or two's worth of insight into our partner during that race. It was that intense.
Oh yeah.
So you know, we came out a different, you know, a different couple, you know, knowing each other better and you know, and the changes that we made.